I wake up early every morning. The sun is just rising, and the house is quiet. My son is still asleep, and I like to watch him for a moment. He looks so peaceful. My heart is full of love when I see him. Our home is small, but it is warm. We don't have much, but we have each other. I work every day to make sure he has what he needs. Sometimes it is hard, but his smile gives me strength. He is my world. Every night, we sit at the table together. We talk about his day at school. He tells me about his friends and the games they play. I love hearing his stories. They make me feel close to him. I want to give him the best life I can. Even if we don't have many things, I want him to feel happy and loved. That is what matters most to me. One day, my son saw something in a shop window. It was a red toy car, shiny and bright. His eyes lit up when he looked at it. "Mom, isn't it beautiful?" he asked. I nodded and smiled. He didn't ask me to buy it. He just kept talking about how fast the car must be. He imagined racing it on the floor at home. His excitement made me happy and sad at the same time. I knew we couldn't afford it. That night, he drew a picture of the toy car. He showed it to me with a big smile. "Look, Mom, this is the car I saw today." I hugged him and said it was a wonderful drawing. Inside, I started to think about how I could make his dream come true. I didn't want to disappoint him. I wanted to see that bright smile again. But I also knew I had to be careful with our money. I thought about it for a long time. 4 days, I thought about the car. I knew it would make him happy, but our budget was tight. I looked at our bills and counted my savings. It wasn't much. Can I really do this? I asked myself. At work, I tried to find ways to save more money. I stopped buying my favorite coffee. I walked to work instead of taking the bus. Every little bit helped. I told myself it was worth it. Some nights, I stayed up late, thinking about my decision. Maybe he doesn't need the car, I thought. Maybe I can just explain it to him. But then I remembered his happy face when he talked about it. I decided to try. Even if it was hard, I wanted to give him that moment of joy. It wasn't just a car. It was a way to show him how much I cared. I started saving every coin I could. I stopped buying small treats for myself. I even sold an old necklace that I didn't wear anymore. It was a gift from years ago, but I knew it would help. At work, I asked for extra hours. It made my days longer and harder, but I didn't mind. I thought about my son every time I felt tired. His happiness kept me going. Some days, I wanted to give up. Maybe it's too much, I thought. But then I imagined him opening the gift. That picture in my mind gave me the strength to continue. Finally, after weeks of saving, I had enough. I went to the shop and bought the red toy car. Holding the box in my hands, I felt so proud. I couldn't wait to see his face. That night, I sat at the kitchen table. The house was quiet, and I carefully wrapped the toy car. The paper was simple, but I tied a small ribbon on top. I wanted it to look special. I wrote a little note to go with it. To my dear son, from Mom. I love you. I folded the note and placed it inside the box. It felt like I was wrapping all my love with the gift. I hid the box in my closet. I wanted it to be a surprise. I kept imagining his reaction. Would he be excited? Would he like it as much as he thought? Before going to bed, I looked at the box one last time. I smiled and whispered, "This is for you, my love." Then I closed the door and went to sleep feeling happy and nervous. The next morning, I called him to the living room. I held the wrapped box behind my back. "Good morning, sweetie," I said. He looked at me with curious eyes. "I have to tell you something," I said with a little smile. "I couldn't get the toy car you wanted. I'm so sorry." His face was calm. He looked at me and said, "That's okay, Mom. You do so much for me. I don't need the car. I just need you." His words made my heart swell with emotion. I couldn't hold back my tears. I pulled the box out from behind me and said, "Well, maybe you should open this first." He opened the box slowly, and his eyes lit up when he saw the car. He hugged me tightly and said, "Thank you, Mom. I love it so much." But I knew he loved me even more. For the rest of the day, he played with the car. He raced it across the floor and laughed with joy. His happiness filled our home. It was the best sound in the world. Every now and then, he would stop playing to hug me. "Thank you, Mom," he said. "This is the best gift ever." I smiled and hugged him back. "You are the best gift to me, too," I said. That evening, he placed the car on his bedside table. "Good night, car," he said with a laugh. Then he looked at me and said, "Good night, Mom. I love you." Hearing those words made everything worth it. I kissed his forehead and whispered, "Good night, my love." After he fell asleep, I sat in the living room. The house was quiet again, but my heart was full. I thought about everything we had been through. The car was just a small gift, but it meant so much. It showed him how much I care, and it reminded me of what truly matters, our love for each other. I realized that he taught me something that day. Love is bigger than any gift. It's in the small moments, the hugs, and the words we share. As I sat there, I felt grateful. Grateful for my son, for our life, and for the bond we have. It's something no money can buy. The next morning, I woke up to find him already playing with the car. He looked up at me and smiled. "Good morning, Mom," he said. His happiness made me smile. We had breakfast together and talked about his plans for the day. He wanted to show the car to his friends. "They will love it," he said. I nodded and felt proud. Our connection felt stronger than ever. The gift brought us joy, but it was our love that made everything special. I knew we could face anything together. As he ran outside to play, I watched him from the window. My heart was full of love and hope for our future. This experience taught me a valuable lesson. It's not about the things we have. It's about the love we share. That love is what makes life beautiful. I will always remember his words. "I just need you." They reminded me of what truly matters. Our bond is stronger than any object or gift. As I write this, I feel a deep sense of gratitude. I have a son who loves me, and I love him with all my heart. Together, we have everything we need. No matter what challenges come, I know we will face them with love, because love is the greatest gift of all.